This is the fourth event in our alumni series, In Conversation With, and I am delighted to have two alumni to share the stage this evening. Ms. Houriya Kazim FRCSI, class of 1988, the first female surgeon in the UAE. Houriya is joined by Dr Adanna Steinacker, class of 2015. She is balancing emergency medicine in Beaumont Hospital with new parenthood whilst managing a popular YouTube vlogging channel. Tonight's conversation is serendipitous on the need for more women to train as surgeons. In Ireland today, while more than 50% of medical graduates are female, just 34% of surgical trainees and less than 7% of consultant surgeons are women.
So let's start off by talking about our time here in RCSI.
Six best years of my life.
Perfect.
I look back now and I get very nostalgic when I come to the college and to Dublin. We had a class of people from all parts of the world. What I loved and what I learned were people who had your back.
The purpose of the conversation tonight is Suturing the Gender Gap.
Yes.
So talking about the disparity and the gap as a surgeon and being a woman. What were the barriers that you faced at that time?
I remember one time, in fact at the Mazda, when I got my first job there and I arrived on the breast unit, and one of the surgeons who was on the interviewing panel, he grabbed me by the shoulders and he said, "You're in the wrong place. The gynecologists are operating in the basement." And I just narrowed my eyes and I go, "And why do you think I'm a gynecologist?"
Because you're a woman.
Because I'm a woman. So a lot of these things are so stupid and they're really minor, but when you take it all together, for me it constituted a barrier. And it just shows you, that the culture was there. Those are the sort of things that have to be changed.
One of the important points is the way that women are treated, and especially women of childbearing age, let alone that you're even pregnant. The working conditions are not very suitable for women. When I started my intern year, coincidentally around the same time, I fell pregnant for my first child. And being, heavily pregnant, 8 months, going into theatre, and I was expected to hold up a leg for a knee replacement or a hip replacement.
So I decided that I was going to finish everything and then get pregnant, which meant, I was engaged for 9 years. And then had, as I said, patient husband, extremely patient. And I had my first child at 41, and then I had another one at 43. Is it ideal? No. But it was just the way that I sought to do it. I knew I could not have done it any other way.
You are the first female surgeon in the UAE. You are without a doubt an inspiration.
When you say I'm the first female surgeon in the UAE, I'm not the first to have tried.
I don't know if you know that you have a very big picture close to our exam hall. And every time we went there, we were waiting in front of the room, very nervous to go in and, for the exam. And Zara always looked at the picture and she said, "Adanna, Chelsea, Louina, listen to me. This woman here was in my mother's class. Both of them were party animals." Right? And if they can make it, if she can make it and have her picture on that wall, we're going to kill this exam. The most important thing is moving forward. How do we tackle this? And I know that when I had a chat with you earlier, we talked about flexible working times. And when you had tried to come back into practice after your baby to look for a job, and you went around asking for part-time jobs, and everybody looked at you like you're crazy. I didn't intend taking a year off. I want to take 6 months. But it's working conditions like this, the lack of flexibility.
I do believe it's an evolutionary process, but I think that we have to somehow move it along, or at least just try to help that process go through a bit faster than it is right now. For us, or certainly for my generation, and I know there are lots of female surgeons here, it's our profound duty to go out and help and encourage and attract and hold on to women.
To women who want to pursue a career in
be a surgeon.
I want to thank you both. It's been a wonderful conversation.
Thank you.
I think it's really special, Houriya, you really listening to your story about being a breast cancer surgeon and gosh, all those challenges and leading the way.
A lot of these careers, like surgery, going to surgery, being an airline pilot, these are all relatively new fields for women. So there will be some resistance to women in those fields, but slowly we are overcoming that resistance, and this new generation hopefully will break down those barriers even more.
It's important for me as a woman to have these female figures to look up to. As a woman who's interested in surgery and hearing all of these barriers, and then you look up to these women who have successful careers as well as family, is just very impressive.
Coming into RCSI actually wanting to do something completely different, I wanted to do infectious diseases. One day somebody put a scalpel in my hand and I was like, wow.